This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. It's your man Sim, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure I introduce my name. And we got Tony here in the building. And the Knicks, they got a win that they needed to get so they can keep pace with everybody. First half had me a little bit nervous. The Rockets were playing hard. You know what I mean? The Knicks were playing hard, but the Rockets were playing hard. I felt like the Knicks were going to pull away. But at some points, I just wasn't sure. Eventually, in the second half, the Knicks pulled away. The more talented team won the basketball game. The Knicks win at 109-94. We're going to break it down. Before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you support the channel. Cash App, $ nothing but Knicks, or through PayPal at paypal.me/nothing but Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. We definitely appreciate your support. That information is in the description of the video. It's also tagged to the top of your YouTube chat. And, of course, Jalen Brunson returned tonight, so you might as well go get one of those Captain Clutch T-shirts or hoodies because he dropped 30 tonight on his return. And that information is also in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, because they're exclusive at printjurisdiction.com. Tony, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
It's good, Sam. Feeling good. Always feeling good after a Knicks win. They played with their food a little bit, but that second half they took care of business.
Yeah.
It was a nice game. Another 30 and 30 for 30 and 11. You know what I mean? So yeah, man.
Yeah.
We got another one tomorrow. So let's keep it rolling.
Nice. And you seen as soon as the Knicks in that fourth quarter, as soon as Tom Thibodeau felt the Knicks had it in hand, he did pull out the starters. And maybe Tom Thibodeau was actually learning that it's the best move to pull out the starters when the game is in hand. You know what I'm saying? Because he pulled them out. I think the Knicks were up 17 at that point. It was still just a minute and something left in the game. You know what I mean? But, this game, the game wasn't fully in the books yet up until about that point. You know what I mean? So, yeah, the Knicks pulled out the win. The Knicks did what they're supposed to do. They scored 109 points at some points, especially in that first half. I wasn't sure. I was thinking to myself, is this offense now, without RJ, is it a little bit anemic? In the second half, they started to shoot the ball a little bit better, scoring transition a little bit more, ended up scoring 109 points tonight. Still that 115 for me is still that sweet spot for the Knicks. 115, maybe a little higher now, 120, 115 to 120, somewhere in there. But they held the Rockets to 94 points, a team that normally scores 112 points. If they're going to hold teams to 94, then, you can deal with them scoring 110, 115. I think the offense is, I think when as games go on, now that Brunson is back, hopefully he stays back, I think it'll get back to what it was. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to get out of the rut, and then you can go on and play the way that you were playing. But the Knicks got the win tonight. A much-needed win over seemingly a desperate Rockets team who had lost big the last two games. And tonight, we're thinking in their minds, we're not going out that way, but they end up losing by double digits tonight too. Anything about tonight just stand out to you?
It was the post-game interview with Randall. I don't know if you have that queued up or anything.
No, I don't.
But he jokingly said, he told Brunson to like hurry up and get his behind back. You know what I mean? I'm getting beat up out here. I'm hurting. You know what I mean? So just the fact that him back on the floor just kind of opens things back up for Randall a little bit. He can't be the sole focal point of the defense. And OG had a real nice game today, and it seemed like they were looking for him a little bit more frequent tonight as well.
And I think Randall's not going to say this, and maybe he will. I don't know. I think it's more than just, he gets more double teams. I think it's also the pressure of I gotta be the guy. I don't think he wants to be that number one guy. I think he likes having Brunson to be that guy, and then he can do his thing because Brunson can take the grunt of the pressure. And we've seen how Randall, how things happen when Randall has that kind of pressure. You know what I mean? He struggles with it. And so I think Brunson takes that whole thing away from him.
I think he referenced well, no, you know what he said? He called him the head of the snake.
The head of the snake.
You know what I mean? So yeah, he knows what it is. And for me, I feel like Randall can really, like, he could dominate the whole game, right? And then Brunson, when it's Captain Clutch time, you know what I mean? Like, he becomes Captain Clutch. He down the stretch, or anytime throughout the game where it's a clutch moment, you know what I mean? You could rely on Brunson then, but you know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. And Randall said over the summer, was it this summer? Yeah, this summer, right? Over the summer when he was on Paul George's podcast, he likes being the second guy. He's more comfortable being that guy. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Kevin Bergen said, and some say Randall is the best player. I don't see it. I don't think Randall's the best player. Even if he ends up being the leading scorer and all of that, I still think Brunson is the best player on this particular basketball team. You probably got 1A and 1B, with whatever you want to say. But when times are tough, Brunson is the guy that I'm relying on to bail us out. You know what I mean? To hit the big shot. I don't know if I'm relying on him to hit the big free throw. I say that, but I'm relying on him to hit the big shot. I don't know if I'm relying on Randall to hit the big free throw either.
Yeah, I always say Randall is our best player and Brunson's our most clutch player. Like that's just the way I kind of look at it. Because even when Brunson's having a bad game, you know what I mean, he just still tends to, down the stretch, he figures things out. You know what I mean? He knows how to still end up winning us the game, even though first 3 quarters he might not have been playing well.
Yeah.
And Randall, on the other hand, he'll carry us through 3 quarters, and then, you know what I mean, if he got to be the guy down the stretch, you know what I mean, like, that's not his best moment.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, can I put a comment up?
Yeah, no doubt. Put it up there.
I just wanted to highlight it before it gets too far down the line.
Yeah, no doubt. Cool Kyle G said, I'm wearing my Captain Clutch hoodie right now. I'm with it. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for copping one of those. Definitely appreciate that. You know what I mean? Definitely appreciate it. Jalen Brunson, Captain Clutch tonight, came back. 30 points for Jalen Brunson, 7 assists. I know we were talking about with Steph, we were talking about Jalen Brunson versus Fred VanVleet, and how, sometimes Fred VanVleet kind of has his way against Jalen Brunson. Not tonight. Jalen Brunson did his thing tonight, 30 points, 7 assists, Shot 52% from the field, shot 44% from the three-point line, although he did shoot 57% from the free throw line. You know what I mean? I don't know, this Knicks team is going to kill us from the free throw line at some point, man. But, as long as they keep trying to, as long as they find a way to dig out the wins, it is what it is.
Yeah, they mentioned it on the GameCast. That Van Vliet has had some great games or good games against Brunson.
Yeah, but not tonight. 30 points for Jalen Brunson tonight. And I'm sure Jalen Brunson, knows that Fred VanVleet has had some good games against him and, wanted to come out and do his thing. Julius Randle, 31 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. He shot 58% from the field. He shot 50% from three. In the first half, though, I thought his ankle was bothering him. I'm not even going to lie. You know what I mean? I thought he was, maybe it started to feel better throughout the game. But in the beginning, I thought maybe his ankle was bothering him. I thought he was a little bit slow to some closeouts. I didn't feel like he was really tenacious on the offensive side. Later in the game, it looked like maybe he started to feel a little bit better or more confident on it.
The crazy thing is later in the game, you see why he's going to miss time year in and year out. Like this man was going up against the trees, you know what I mean? Doing footwork and just getting knocked down, getting N1s like back to back, like, and that's who he is. So yeah. he's bound.
Well, I'm talking about Randle though. In the beginning, I thought
my bad.
I thought Randle was a little bit ginger on his ankle in the beginning of the game. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was a little bit ginger. Wasn't really attacking defensively. I thought he was a little, slow on the, on a closeout. Maybe being a little bit ginger on his ankle. Later in the game, it felt like he, was a little more comfortable on the ankle. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that ankle, I'm pretty sure he's icing it right now. You know what I mean? And it's still kind of sore. But in the beginning of the game, I was a little bit, was like, yo, if your ankle was hurt, you should have not played. You know what I'm saying? But finally, he seemed to get it together. 31 points for Randle, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. He did have 4 turnovers. 3 of them were offensive fouls. OG Anunoby, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, 1 block, 5 for 10 from the field, 40% from the three-point line. Played a pretty decent basketball game offensively and defensively. Isaiah Hartenstein, 7 points, 11 rebounds. I thought he did a decent job on Sengun. Josh Hart, 10 points, 14 rebounds. Quentin Grimes had 11 points tonight. So, good production across the board for the Knicks tonight. It wasn't the greatest shooting night. Houston is a aggressive defensive team. They were running around, trapping if they could, play physical. You know what I'm saying? So, you're going to get these kind of games. The Knicks, like I said, didn't shoot the ball great, but found a way to get it done in the end. For the Houston Rockets, they were led in scoring by Fred VanVleet, 24 points, 12 assists. Still did his thing tonight, but Jalen Brunson got the best of him. Sengun had 18 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. He shot just about 44% from the field. All right, but, he had bodies hitting him, though. Jabari Smith, 11 points, 6 rebounds. Dylan Brooks, 11 points, 1 rebound. All right, and the Knicks were able to hold Houston to 41.7% shooting, 26.7% from the three-point line. So a good defensive game from the Knicks tonight as well. Overall good game from the Knicks. Even though they didn't shoot the ball terribly well, it was an overall good basketball game. Excuse my highlight down there that was kind of out of whack. You know what I mean? Any other thoughts, though, just, from the game as a whole?
I'll wait until we have the play of the game or whatever. But I definitely got that in mind. So I'll hold that one. But just that second half, man, we really put it together. We look more like the team that was on that 5-game winning streak. You know what I mean? In that second half tonight.
In the second half, right?
You know, I mean, really, and from the jump with that third quarter, I know a lot of people, you know, they talk about how much they like the way the starting five is playing together. I agree. I mean, I guess I got a question. What did you see from the second unit tonight? Was there any highlights or more of the same?
For me, more the same from the second unit. You know, the Knicks struggle with that second unit. They struggle to score with that second unit. Now, the second unit is good defensively, right? But that unit struggles to score the basketball. You know, you got a bunch of guys out there who are, you know, defensive minded. They're not scorers. You know what I mean? The ball moves a little bit, but in the end, they're not really getting up a good shot, in my opinion, and they're struggling to find a shot.
Do you know how many minutes Hartenstein played? Because I don't recall much of Precious Achiuwa in the second half.
Let me see. Hartenstein tonight played. Hold on for 1 minute. Let me get it there. Hartenstein played 40 minutes tonight. Yeah, 40 minutes and 59 seconds. Precious played 6 minutes tonight.
Yeah, that seems yeah. He's about what I remember.
Yeah.
So,
you know, but yeah, with that second unit, you know, I don't know. I'm just not seeing the you know, offensively, you know, they're not going to get it offensively. They just don't have anyone in that second unit that can really break down the defense to make the ball move. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you need. It's not that the person has to break down the defense to score, but can they collapse the defense so you can kick it out and now the ball can shift, right? There's no gravity. There's no gravity in that second unit.
And that's a big part of Tibbs's scheme.
Right.
You know what I mean? Make the defense collapse.
Right.
I mean, I guess you can do it without I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
I think
the only other way, if you're not having guards that can penetrate, then you got to have a post guy, right? Someone that you can get the ball to in the post, that can score in the post, that's going to make the defense collapse in, and then you can kick it out, and then you can swing it. You know what I mean? The Knicks just don't have it in that second unit. They just don't have the gravity, and I think that's the issue. And you know, and the reason why they got to bring somebody in. I mean, when you look at the entire set, obviously Deuce played some minutes, right? But when you look, you know, Deuce played 11 minutes tonight, back to his normal. I mean, Malachi Flynn and Ryan, they only, you know, they played the last 54 seconds of the game. Josh Hart played his 29 minutes. But when you have Josh Hart, Deuce, Quentin Grimes, Precious, and OG out there on the floor together, there's nobody to draw the attention. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure the coach is just like, stay home. Stay with your guy. They can't create.
They got to use the defense to create offense.
Exactly. They got to use the defense to create offense. They're kind of like, I had an AAU team one time. We were really, really good defensively. I mean, we were really good defensively, but we couldn't score for anything. And that was just the type of players that we had. You know, we would get steal after steal after steal after steal. But we would, you know, we might get 5 steals in a row, but only make 1 layup. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of team that we were. And so we had to work so hard on the defensive end in order to create offense. You know, and you know, we won that way. I'm not gonna lie. We won like 2 AU championships that way, but it was a struggle. Every game was close. You know, every game was tight, and we got in a lot of foul trouble and stuff like that, because that's the, you know, type of defense we played. That's what that second unit reminds me of. You know what I mean? Yeah, a team that can make it hard for you to score, but they're gonna have a hard time scoring when they get the ball back.
I just wanted to address Josh real quick about addressing the first unit and second unit. To start the fourth quarter, it's the full second unit. To start the second quarter, it's the full second unit. The staggering is within the middle of the first quarter and within the middle of the third quarter. But to start the second quarter and fourth quarter, it's the full second unit.
Yeah.
So that's why I address it that way.
Right. And it is when you start those the second and fourth quarter, it is the full unit out there, and either Brunson or Randle is out there on the floor right now with those units for at least 3 minutes, 4 minutes maybe, before he brings Brunson back in, and then later on brings Randle back in. But during that time span, you know what I'm saying, they struggle to score during that time span. They're playing good defense, though. I will say that. They're playing good defense, but they struggle to score during that time span. And I do believe there will be moments when you might have to bring Brunson back a little bit early or Randle back a little bit early. And I think that's what the Knicks want to.
That's exactly what Tibbs does. Like he'll start them on the bench in those 2 quarters, but depending on what happens within the first 3 to 5 minutes, if it looks bad early, if he got to call a timeout, you better believe one of them two is coming back in.
One of them two is coming back in, right? And I think that's what they want to get away from. They want to have someone that's reliable, where they're like, okay, even if it's going a little bit bad, I can rely on this guy to be able to help him get out of the rut. I don't think he believes in that right now. I don't think he believes he has that on the second unit right now. Everyone on that second unit is just they're a little bit herky-jerky. You know what I'm saying? Active, really, really active defensively, but a little bit herky-jerky. But nobody that you can rely on that's going to really go out there and get you a bucket. So, we'll see how they decide to address that. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, one of those guys in the second unit has to go, and in order to make that adjustment to the lineup, one of them has to go. Deuce can't go. Josh Hart can't go. Only leaves one left.
I have a hypothetical, right? And I'm only saying this player's name is because he's the only guy that I could think of right now who will be on the buyout market, right? And that's Gordon Hayward. So because the report says, we're trying to trade Gordon Hayward, but if we can't, we're gonna buy him out.
Right.
So I'm like, basically nobody's gonna trade for him now unless you're giving away some type of asset with him. But my point was, if a guy like Hayward is available in a buyout, you think the Knicks will have interest?
I don't know. Can he do it defensively?
I mean, this is, again, I'm not advocating this. The only reason I'm speaking, number one, Hayward has been a talk of the Knicks' interest for years, right? So that's number one. If it's a buyout, it's not about the money. You know what I mean?
Right.
But in his case, he's not a great defender, but he's definitely a guy who can create on the offensive end and create for himself, create for others. He would be surrounded by all defensive guys anyway in that second unit. That's the only reason why I'm not advocating it. It's just in the back of my head on my watch list.
Yeah, I just look at it would remind me of, it would bring me to Fournier all over again.
I agree.
Except the money. The money would be different.
The money would be different, and he's definitely more of a creator
offensively. Like, he's a better player offensively, no doubt about that. He's a much better.
But that's the only reason I'm throwing it out there. I'm not advocating it.
You know,
But do you think they could be interested in the buyout market? So not even for him per se,
yeah,
just somebody who fits that criteria.
right. I think they would. I think definitely if they are unable to make a move by the trade deadline, they're definitely going to look at the buyout market. You know, and see if anybody's there. You know. Hey, you've been talking about Bruce Brown a lot, right? Is he going to stay in Toronto? Are they going to keep him?
Didn't he just sign a long-term contract though?
I don't know. But they
Because they
can.
couldn't. I think they had to wait to trade him because they just signed him.
I thought
He's fresh off the championship.
I read somewhere that they could still that he could be, you know, that they could still possibly flip him.
Maybe it's not guaranteed.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, you saying trade again? I thought you were saying buy.
No,
buy
I'm talking about a trade. I'm talking about a trade.
I like Bruce Brown. I like Bruce Brown a lot, man.
Yeah, I'm not talking about. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm talking about a trade. You know, possibly. Hey, you know, a trade to the Knicks. Something.
And he's a guy that I think would still have value down the road to flip because he's not a star player, but he's a utility guy, and you could plug him in pretty much any contending team or any. You know what I mean?
I guess the
like
only thing about Bruce Brown, you get a player that you would assume Tom Thibodeau would use, but with what they're looking for with the contract situation, I think they want a guy that has one more year left, and he actually has a team option for next year, so he has the same contract as Evan Fournier.
But he has more value than Evan Fournier, so it may behoove them. He could be the literal replacement for Fournier, where he has not only the value monetarily, but as a player,
right.
I think he has more value. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, so
I mean,
you know, he makes $23 million.
I think he can help right now.
Yeah, he makes $23 million this year. He makes $23 million. Well, there's a team option for $23 million next year. So, you know,
I think he's Josh Hart plus. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, so, you know, I guess, you know, we'll see what the Knicks are looking for tonight. You know, they do it. You know, they 51 rebounds. They out-rebound the Rockets 51-38. 24 assists tonight for the Knicks, 23 for the Rockets. And that's 24 assists on 45% shooting, 35% for the three-point line. So it's not too bad. 6 steals for both teams, 5 blocks for the Knicks, 9 for the Rockets, only 12 turnovers tonight for the Knicks. Under duress because the Rockets were playing some, you know, tough defense, scrappy defense tonight. And the Knicks still, for the most part, took care of the basketball. A lot of those turnovers came in the first half. 3 of them came on offensive charges from Julius Randle. You know, so when you really look at it, you know, they really real turnovers. They had under 10 when you talk about real turnovers. You know, 35% three-point shooting from the Knicks, 26.7% three-point shooting from the Rockets. The Rockets win the war in the paint, 46-42. The Knicks get the war the second chance points, 13-4. And on the break, Houston won 18-9. But overall, the Knicks ran away with the basketball game tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And, you know, much needed win, especially when you look at, I think I saw in the chat that Cleveland beat up on Milwaukee tonight. Right?
Yep.
I mean, they beat them 135-95 tonight. That's a big win for Milwaukee. I mean, for Cleveland to beat Milwaukee 135-95. I don't know who played or what. I'm assuming everybody played. So, you know, 40-point win. Wow. Toronto, without Pascal Siakam, beat Miami 121-97. Although Toronto's not, you know, right now and, you know, close in the standings with everyone, but they beat Miami, so that's a good thing.
Quickly and RJ, they still playing for us right now. You know what I'm saying?
You know? They're still doing work for us. Let me see. RJ tonight, 26 points, 8 rebounds. Quickly had 17 points. Gary Trent Jr. started. He had 28 points. So right now, the Knicks are in the standings as we speak, back up to 5th. Because Indiana doesn't play tonight. They play tomorrow. Right? So we'll see what happens with Indiana. But the Knicks are back up to 5th. I'm assuming if Indiana wins tomorrow, if the Knicks and Indiana win tomorrow, the Knicks will be in the 6th spot. Right? Because Indiana has the tiebreaker over the Knicks. So, the Knicks, listen, they get a couple of wins. If somehow Indiana loses tomorrow, I'm thinking they probably won't. Indiana plays. Oh, actually, I don't know. Indiana plays Sacramento, so there's a chance that they could lose. They're in Sacramento as well. So there's a chance there that the Knicks get a win over Washington. Indiana takes a loss, and the Knicks end up in that 5th spot, solely in that 5th spot after tomorrow night. We'll see if that's exactly what happens. Toronto plays again tomorrow night, but they play Chicago, not somebody that's close to the Knicks. So the only teams really playing in the standings are New York and Indiana, who are close to one another in the Eastern Conference. So we need Sacramento. I'll be rooting for Sacramento tomorrow night. We need Sacktown to do their thing. We need Sacktown to do their thing. Walter White said if we both win tomorrow, we're up a half game. How do you figure that?
If we're up right now, then yeah.
Wait a minute. Are we up right now? Hold on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are. We're up a half game. So if we both win tomorrow, we'll be up a half game. Correct. Right. We're 24-17. They're 23-17. Yeah. So if the Knicks take care of business, we'll still be in the 5th spot. Indiana will be in the 6th spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. So, take care of business now. If Indiana loses and we win, we're playing Washington.
Game and a half.
Bro, and we're playing Washington. We should. There's no way that we need to fall asleep. We cannot fall asleep against Washington tomorrow. Okay? They got 7 wins on the season. We can't fall asleep against them. We gotta beat them. I'll be so pissed off if we fall asleep against this team and lose somehow. Right? We got to take care of business against Washington. We'll be in that 5th seed. Right now, the Knicks, 24-17, at the halfway mark of the season. What were we at the halfway mark last year?
I'm not sure. But I will say, we're not, theoretically, we're on pace for 48, not 50. But that's with that tough schedule that we started with.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's
right.
with all those back-to-backs that we've had. I think this might be one of the last 2 back-to-backs that we have for the rest of the year. This is all the road games we had. You know what I mean? Now we on this big home stretch. So I think the schedule's more favorable moving forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we should outpace, where we are at the halfway mark.
Yeah. Yeah, we should. Right. We should outpace it. As long as we don't, obviously, as long as we don't suffer any injuries and things like that, we should outpace. We should outpace it. Any key plays?
It doesn't. I'm sorry. It doesn't feel like we've overachieved at this point, right?
No.
It doesn't feel like we've necessarily underachieved either. You know what I mean? I think we gave away a few games that we should have won.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't know if you could really say we've had a game that we won that we would have said, oh, we shouldn't have won, except maybe the Philly game. And I wouldn't even say we shouldn't have won. I think the big surprise is how we won. You know what I mean? A 35-point blowout as opposed to like a tougher victory.
Right.
So, I think we're right where we should be given all the circumstance. So yeah, I my bad. I just had to double down on that point.
Yeah.
What were you gonna ask?
Any key plays or decisions that you thought, were of significance in this game?
Um, my I have a sequence. Actually, I got two sequence. One is the OG block. You know what I mean, and they recovered the basketball. Then he stole it. You know what I mean. And I want to say that might be the same play that Randle ended up finding him for the dunk. Um, in all in that one sequence. But there's another sequence in the third quarter. I want to say like 8 minutes left where Randle drew a double team, found him for open three. Very next possession, Brunson drove the
found him.
lane.
Yeah.
Found him on the other side for open three. Called a timeout.
Yeah.
So those combinations, I guess, were the standouts.
Yeah. Right. Well, my big play was the Randle to OG dunk when Josh Hart got the rebound. I think it was kicked it up to Randle, and the Randle found OG. That was a real nice play. You know what I'm saying? You see it here up on the screen. Shot goes up. Josh Hart tussles the rebound out, kicks it up to Randle, does the, not really a no look, but the little pass where you pass it and then spin like you did a no look, but you didn't really do a no look. You just spin your body like you did a no look. But, that's what it did. Pass it over to OG, then OG brings it home, gets the foul, and he knocks down the free throw. You know what I'm saying? Nice play. And
bunch of OG chants.
Chants in the crowd. You know what I mean? So, that was a real nice play. And, that felt like, the Knicks we had been seeing for a while. Right? And, the Knicks that were on that five-game win streak. It felt like that team right there. You know what I mean? So, real nice play from the Knicks in that sequence. And just like Clyde said, it kind of felt like maybe that took the air out of Houston. The Knicks were up 10. I think they went up 12. And from there, I think they went up as much as 17 and even 20, actually. I think they went up 20 when Randle hit his 31st point. I think they went up 20. So, really from that point, because they stay, it remained a 10-point game for a while. Houston wouldn't go away, but I think right here, it was a 12-point game, 93-81. And this made it a 14-point game, but, this, I think, kind of took the steam away, from Houston a little bit. So, real nice play from the Knicks there. Nice fast break, to put a staple in the game and bring this one home for the Knicks. You know what I mean? Bring that one home for the Knicks to get a win. Trav said that was a no look. No, don't. I know you like Randle. I like Randle too, but it wasn't a no. Come on, Trav. That wasn't a no look. He looked at him dead in the eye, and then he turned his body like it was a no. Melo used to do the same exact thing. Everybody does it in the park. You know what I'm saying? Throw the pass and then look away afterwards like it was a no look. But, I'll let him rock, though. I ain't going to say nothing else about it. I'll let him rock. I guess I'll let Randle rock with it, and throw his, pretend no look. You know what I mean? But it was a beautiful play. It was a beautiful play from the Knicks there.
The impact made it a no look.
The impact made it a no. Yeah, you know what I mean? The impact made it a no look, right? What was more impressive to me about the pass was how quick the pass was.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no, I got it, let me take a dribble. It was boom, I caught it, bam, and found him.
And Randle was in the position to where I think 9 times out of 10 in the pass, he would have attacked on that pass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no hesitation. He ain't even land, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't even think he landed. Take a look at it again. I don't think he landed. I think, he might have done it while he was in the air. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of quick passes that makes it tough to defend. You know what I'm saying? You make those type of passes, you know what I mean? It makes it tough to defend because Randle could have easily, he was in a position when you look at it, he could have grabbed it and backed down whoever was there. You know what I'm saying? But instead, he threw the pass to OG, and OG was strong enough to finish through traffic. You know what I'm saying? So that was, just a beautiful play from all three. You know what I mean? Beautiful play from all three players. You like to see that. Let me see what Sean Richardson said. Sim, do you agree with Thibodeau playing OG and Hartenstein 40-plus minutes in back-to-back games? Let me tell you, this is what Tom Thibodeau brought those guys here to do. I think they look for guys who can play that type of basketball. OG is Josh Hart, taller, maybe a little bit more skilled, right? That's the type of basketball they play. Expect for those guys to play those amount of minutes when they're on the floor. You know what I mean? That's what they brought them here for. And they're gonna play heavy minutes. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, there may be some nights where they get a little bit of a break if the Knicks are blowing people out, or if they just need it, maybe. But those guys are gonna play 40-plus minutes. Do I agree with it? I've coached teams where I don't have a lot of talent, and I play my best players. So, yeah, I don't have a problem with guys playing minutes. I really don't. What about you, Tony?
No, I don't think players do. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to hear. I want to see the player that ever came out and was like, "Yo, this coach was playing me too much. It was too much for me. I couldn't handle it. I needed it." You know what I mean? Like, I've never heard that. And I'm not just talking about for tips. I'm just saying any player ever said that about a coach.
Right.
So,
yeah, I mean, I just don't have these guys. How old are they? 26, 27? You know what I'm saying? And I understand people get little injuries and things like that, but and if that happens, and they're kind of nicked up, you might say, all right, let me let these guys rest a little bit or something like that. But they're out there. I expect them to play. I'm cool with guys playing minutes. You know what I mean? I'm cool with guys playing minutes. Let me get to a phone call real quick. Call you live. Name me where you're from, please.
Hey, how you doing? It's Zahim. I haven't called in a while.
Zahim, what's going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
How you doing? Feeling good. Good game today. Good game. I've got a question. It's something I've been thinking about for the past couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
I know we all looking for, I know the Knicks need some help at the guard position and, the big men's position. I'm not saying this is going to happen. It's just something me and my boy was talking about. Would y'all ever, I don't know if y'all would do this, would y'all call the widgets and take a chance? I know I might get tomatoes, but would y'all take a chance on a high risk, a high risk reward guy, like a Jordan Poole? He would fit good next to a good coach.
I wouldn't.
That's like another.
I don't know if I would do Jordan Poole. I don't know if I would do Jordan Poole because of the contract. He's got a long contract, $30+ million a year, I think.
Okay. He signed the extension, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if I want to pay him $30+ million a year.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Let me see. Jordan Poole, yeah, he makes 27.9 this year, 30.1 in 24-25, 32.3 in 25-26, and then 34.5 in 26-27. Yeah, so I don't want to pay Jordan Poole that much, but I personally would take a flyer on Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, I've been saying this. No one wants to do that. Why nobody? They say they think him and Randle are like. I don't know.
I mean, but if he's willing to come off the bench, you know what I'm saying? Now you have a guy in that second unit that can, Yeah, I don't know if he would be or not, but he has a very team-friendly contract. He makes 25.5 this year, 23.5 next year, 21.4 in 25-26, and then 19.4 in 26-27. So that's an easily tradable contract too.
Yeah, you can trade. Yeah, you can move him. Yeah, that's true. That's true too.
You know, so
Okay, what about? Sorry, go ahead.
now go ahead.
I was saying, what about if you want to call the Jazz about Sexton and Olynyk? Get rid of Fournier and Grimes in like the first round and second round. Maybe you could get it done.
I would definitely. I'm intrigued by what Colin Sexton could be with this basketball team too. You know what I'm saying? I like the he's a defender. Obviously he's got a lot of speed. He can he can be that creator off the bench. He's already coming off the bench in Utah, I believe, right? You know, so he's used to that role. He's starting now?
I think so, yeah. He's playing really good too. He's
Okay.
good
I mean, I know
right
he was coming off the bench, so he's kind of used to that. I think he'd be, I think he would fit the bill too. Well, what the Knicks might be looking for.
I got one more guy. Someone says they're not really playing this guy. I call him quickly brother. Would you take a chance on Bones Highland?
On Bones Highland?
He's not even playing right now.
Yeah, I mean, is he good enough to do what you need him to do? I guess. Can I guess that's the question. Can he do what you need? We know he can. I don't know. I think the Knicks are looking for a creator that can also stabilize the team and do those type of things when Brunson's not in the game. I'm not sure if he's that guy.
Quickly would take his letter back.
What'd you say, Tony?
I said if we brought Bones over here, quickly would take his letter back. He would nigga.
Right. Right. Oh, you brought the copy. You brought in a copy, but I mean, I like the Colin Sexton thing though. I do.
I like Clarkson too, but I just think I don't know how we'll get Clarkson. I don't know, but I think they need another backup because I know Tibbs. He's playing these guys a lot of minutes. I know these guys are young. Randle need a break, man. He needs rest. He's playing too many minutes. Need someone that backs up for it. Because Precious, he like Norris Noel. He can't catch the damn ball.
Oh man, Precious, yeah. Precious can't catch the ball. Precious.
He like Noel again. I'm like, we got Noel again. I'm like, can't catch the ball.
Yeah.
Man.
I don't know, man. But look, Colin Sexton, man, he makes 17.3 this year, 18.1 in 24-25, 18.9 in 25-26. A really nice contract.
I like Colin.
That would be movable.
He plays defense too. That's like a Tibbs player.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Obviously there's always that question. There's been a lot of questions about like his attitude and things like that. I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Haven't heard anything out of Utah, but in Cleveland, there was some questions about it. Right now, Utah is playing really, really good basketball. They may be a little tentative on moving anybody right now because they're playing some good basketball. Ever since they beat the Knicks, they've been playing good basketball.
They've been playing good, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But Colin Sexton, man, he's 25 years old. He's averaging 17 a game. 6'3", 190. I mean, he fits the bill. Shooting 48.9% from the field. He shoots 37% from the three-point line. That might, he's that's a thought. That's a thought.
Or would you just call the Pistons and get freaking Tibbs' favorite guy back,
Alec Burks
or Bogdanovich?
I wouldn't be opposed to Alec Burks either. You know what I'm saying? He knows how Tibbs wants to play, right? Because he's played under Tibbs. He knows what to expect. He's played with Randle. I mean, Mitch isn't here right now, but he's played with Mitch. I mean, that's about it. Everybody else is gone. You know, and he makes
Yeah, like I said,
10.4.
everybody we drafted about to be going.
Yeah, he makes $10.4 million this year. I think the only issue is if you listen to what Fred Katz said, the Knicks would like to add somebody who has a couple of years on their contract, so they can then flip that person for a star, possibly a star.
It sound like they're gonna try to get Murray there. That's the only thing I have to think about. I don't know what else.
I mean, but Colin Sexton fits the bill too, though.
He would, and they could move him.
Yeah, he fits the bill. So, but hey, Zaheem, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
No doubt. Appreciate it. Peace. Yeah, what do you think about those guys, man? Tony? I know we've talked about it a couple of times.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Kuzma. I think he does fit.
I think he does too. I seen Josh in the. I seen him. I think he does too. I think I've watched Kuzma play a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen him play where he's the guy like now. I've also seen him play where he's not the guy, and he understands how to do both roles.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we talk about adding length to the basketball team.
And
adds length to the basketball team. He can handle the basketball a little bit. He may not be the type of guy he may not be like a Brunson type of guy, but I mean, he's played some point forward in Washington and in other places in LA. He can do some of that. You know what I mean? But he's a guy that can create his own shot. He can post up. He can shoot the three. You know what I'm saying? He can play with that second unit. He can be your main primary scorer with that second unit. He can play some backup power forward. He can play some three. He can do a lot of things.
So you asked me what I think, and then
My
you
bad.
said,
My bad. My bad.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, and his contract is team friendly. That's and I think he's the type of guy. You were talking the other night about teams would rather trade for Murray than Brogdon. You know what I'm saying? He's that type of guy. The age,
fits that, bro.
you know what I'm saying? People look at him and say, okay, maybe he's not our main guy, but he's someone who can maybe we can build with, not build around, but build with. He can be a piece. You know what I'm saying?
He's a complimentary.
Yeah.
I don't want to say star, but you know what I mean, like complimentary guy. You know what I mean? That could give you offense and could definitely be a 6-man for sure role. You know what I mean? So I rock with him. I think he's but the size is the biggest thing. That I think that's kind of what separates him from a lot of the other guys that we talk about, because he has that length,
right?
And that's still something that we need.
Right. He can play the 3. He can play the 4. You know what I'm saying? You can play him around the board. You know what I mean? And you talk about having rest for Randle, a little bit more rest for Randle, because he can play the 4. He can give some rest for Randle. If you need him to play some 3, he can give some rest for OG. There's a lot of ways that you can use him. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Josh, you can rewind it and you can listen to when Tony, just before Tony said, Simi asked me my thoughts, and then you went on and explained it. Just go listen to that and you'll see where I think we can use them. So I'm not going to say it all over again. Instead of doing that, I'm going to get to my man Silk. Silk, what's popping, bro? How you feeling?
What up, sir? What up, Tony? Yo, y'all
Peace,
had me
family.
laughing, man. I was like, don't get mad at him. It's like an old married couple. Y'all been together so long. Asking question and answer for you at the same time.
Right.
I got a question, and I thought about it. I see Grimes' career and Randall's career probably going on the same path. But Grimes is going to blow up after he gets to his third team, but not with us. Because as you think about Randall, he missed the whole first season, just like Grimes. He had a double-double his second season. They didn't re-sign him on an extension because LeBron came in, and they wanted to save that money for AD, so they let him work to this other team. But we're going to try to trade Grimes before we get to that extension because we don't want to lose him for nothing. I see their careers almost identical coming from the college to the pros.
I don't know, because Randle was really an impact player in college. That's why it was one and done.
Yeah, but the pros, when he came to the Lakers, he only lasted 4 years. They didn't want to sign him to the extension because LeBron came in.
Right.
And they wanted to save that money to try to get AD. So they let him walk.
Right.
But the Knicks ain't going to let Grimes walk. That's why they're trying to trade him either this year or next year. Because they don't want to pay him that extension.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like Randle showed more dimensions to his game than Grimes did.
Yeah, he had his double-double.
You
But
know,
he wasn't LeBron.
no, right. He wasn't LeBron, of course. I mean, people, you're going to do that anytime. You know what I mean? But just speaking as far as Randle and Grimes, I feel like early in his career, Randle showed more dimensions to his game than Grimes does now.
But Sims, think about it. They're trying to bring in somebody that's better than Grimes, like DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray does more than Grimes. So
Right.
as a match player, you're looking at Randle against LeBron. LeBron's much better than Randle. You're looking at DeJounte Murray against Grimes. DeJounte Murray's much better than Grimes.
So you're not talking about their play. You're talking about the path of the career.
Path of the career?
Yeah, right. They replaced him. They replaced Randle with somebody who's better than him. Now we're going to replace Grimes with somebody who's better than him. He's just not a fit on our team right now. So he don't dribble.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I thought you were saying he's gonna like end up averaging 24 a game. Or, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he's doing that.
I think that's 5 years from now when he knows how to dribble and stop picking up his dribble. That's 5 years from now.
I don't think he's gonna be that guy. I think coming out of high school, he was that guy. When he got into college, he figured out, oh, I'm not that guy. And then now he's kind of got pigeonholed into being this just 3-and-D wing. And I just don't know. I don't know if he has it. I don't know.
You don't think he can never learn to stop picking up his dribble as soon as he gets pressured a little bit? I think that comes with experience over time. I think he can learn that. He just think it ain't gonna be something quick with him. It's gonna be a 5-year thing.
Nah, I think he got exposed in college.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened. And now, I don't know. I'm not saying it's too late. You know what I mean? But he didn't take that challenge to say, "Oh, I got to work on my ball handling." He adjusted to what he was still effective at.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he came in as a point guard. He came in as one of the top recruited point guards.
Yeah.
But I think the ball handling got exposed in college, and he had to adjust, rather than
Right.
you know what I mean, go work on his ball handling.
Yeah, and I also think part of the reason why he was a primary ball handler in high school is just because he was the best ball handler on the team. If you put him with another team, he would have been probably what he is right now. He might have did a little bit more than that because it was high school, and like Tony's saying, he got into college and he got, oh yeah, my handle's not that good, and then bam, it was like, okay, this is what you're good at, this is what you do, until you can develop that, but he's never really developed that ability, and he plays. He also has to slow down a little bit. Maybe the game just hasn't slowed. The NBA game hasn't slowed down for him.
That's
but
true.
He's got to slow down a little bit. Like, he doesn't play with much poise. It's herky jerky and quick and da 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 da.
He plays like he talks.
That's what I was about to say. He plays like he talks. Right.
Yeah, and like I said, this is actually his sophomore year, even though it's his third year, and the Knicks had to make a decision. They said they're not going to give him that money because he hasn't shown enough to earn what would be a two-guard, shooting guard money. I just think, and that's why when you see nights like today, when Deuce ain't hitting his three, what we got off the bench, we need a consistent 20-point scorer. That's why I want Murray. Because he will fit better. Deuce could come in. Deuce might go back to situational. But so I think Deuce ain't ready yet to penetrate Because he need that scoop shot in the lane when he gets in there. He be trying to go all the way to the hoop, and he don't got enough really like that. And his mid-range is a slow release, so when he get in the lane, he ain't quick release like Brunson, so they can block it. Deuce is getting there. He just need another year to marinate.
But see, here's the thing. I think if Grimes is traded, Deuce's spot is secured, right? Because if Grimes is traded,
not really, because they're gonna move Dante to the bench.
No, but they may not get what I'm thinking is that they're not going to get someone to go in the starting lineup. If they make a trade, all right, if they make a trade for Murray, right? But still, even if they make a trade for Murray, Grimes is going.
Yeah, he's going to be going.
Right. So then then you'll have Deuce and Dante coming off the bench. Right?
With Murray there, Deuce's minutes going to get cut real short.
I mean,
it can be like 4 minutes and a half, and then he probably ain't gonna see him in the second half.
I mean, he'll probably get the same minutes he gets now, right? 10.
No, he's getting about 8 to 10 now.
He's getting about 8 to 10 now.
He ain't getting that with Murray here.
I kind of agree, only because not only to supplement minutes for Murray, he's gonna have to place a lot of that backup point guard. You know what I mean? When Brunson's resting.
Right. You're going to see really the minutes with Dante, Murray, Brunson, and Hart at the two guards, twos and ones. You're going to get Miles in the second quarter that rest period. But when it comes to the third quarter, fourth quarter, Grimes is typically going to run with the guys he trusts. And you got with two closers on the team, Brunson and DeJounte, they definitely gonna be in there in the fourth quarter. We're Hart, but that's his grandson. Grandson Hart.
Oh yeah,
he always want to play Hart.
It's like Josh.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely gonna. Murray would definitely be there in the fourth quarter. There is no doubt about that. It would be Brunson and Murray and Randle, Josh Hart, Hartenstein.
I think the reason why it ain't really happened yet because Atlanta trying to dump Capella on us and make us give up Mitch, and the Knicks ain't doing that. They trying to get rid of that kind of money. We take Dante, but you got to take Capella too. We don't want to do that.
Right.
I want 2 first-round picks.
You make me take Capella money, you getting second rounders. If I got to take Capella money back,
I mean, he don't make that much money.
I'm saying I want 2 first-round picks back.
he actually doesn't make that much money.
He makes more than Mitch. Mitch is 15 these next 2 years. Capella's 20 and 23.
Right. I mean, that's not that much. I mean, you got to add something in it to make the money work, but it's not like he makes like a crazy amount of money. And his contract is shorter than Mitch's.
So would you do that? Yeah? Would you give up Mitch for Capella and DeJounte and Grimes and Fournier?
Nah, that's too much change right now.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't know. So now you're adding. Now, okay, let me ask you this: is Clint coming off the bench or is he starting over Hartenstein?
Yeah, off the bench.
You know what? If he's, I mean, damn. I mean, the thing is, it wouldn't. The thing is, the thing is, it wouldn't be a big change right now because Mitch isn't playing. So if you're still starting Hartenstein and Clint Capella's coming off the bench, obviously you're adding to the bench. You're adding to the starting lineup and you're adding to the bench. You know what I mean? You're adding another starting center to the bench.
See, what I think they're trying to do, Sim, I think they're trying to hold on to Mitch for next year in case for whatever reason, if Embiid becomes available, they want to throw Mitch in that trade. Because they don't want to throw Mitch for this trade.
I mean, if you think about it, the money actually works. Because this year, Clint Capella makes 20.6. DeJounte Murray makes 18.2. Right? So that's $38.8 million. Okay? Evan Fournier makes what? He makes 18 this year?
Yeah.
Right? So Evan Fournier makes 18.8. Mitchell Robinson is 15.6. So that's like $34 million. And then if you throw Quentin Grimes in there, that's 2.3. That's like 36. The money is right there.
Yeah, I just don't want to give up Mitch this year. I want to see what Mitch looks like at the bench, stack up big in the playoffs. Because Mitch is better than Capella. Capella ain't the same no more. He ain't that same Capella dude.
You know what I mean? I feel you.
If you know Mitch is not coming back this year, does that change anybody's perspective on whether to make that move?
But Tony, we ain't gonna know that till after the playoffs.
Play the
deadline, because they're not gonna make that until March. He's gonna be reevaluated in March, so we're not gonna know till after the trading deadline's passed. We're gonna have to go on potluck.
Yeah, but I think
I don't want to do it.
I'm under the assumption that they have a strong idea that he might not. That's why they went for that exception.
Right.
But again, I don't know if they could have got the exception, and then somehow if he was able to go, I don't know what the stipulation was with that either.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I wouldn't. I don't know if I would do it. I just would. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't want. You don't want things to just end up being so disjointed because you adding all these players in, and now I mean, the way that they've done things is like add a piece at a time, and they come together, then add a piece, then they come together, has worked. You know what I mean?
Listen, I think they're really nervous about it because they can only give Hartenstein $18 million plus bonuses. Suppose somebody offers Hartenstein $20 million, now you done traded Mitch, and all you got is Capella as your big on the team. And Hart go for the money. See, I think they want to make sure they got Hart signed before they trade Mitch.
Yeah.
Because they're limited with how much they can offer him. Some team who's desperate for a center may give Hart $20 million. We can't even go that high.
They might. Hartenstein might get paid. Just had a kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He might get paid. And he's gonna be like, let me take care of my family.
Yeah. That's why I said they don't want to do that. They don't want to let go of Mitch until they know they got Hartenstein locked up. Until that happens, I think that's why DeJounte Murray, they looking at Brogdon, they going to other guys because if y'all get asking us to we got to trade Mitch to y'all to get Murray, then we may not be able to get Murray.
Man.
That's a stipulation.
I don't know. We'll see. So I don't know, man. But Indiana Indiana just made a move.
On Murray. My bad.
Yeah. Indiana just made a move to bring in Pascal Siakam. They got better. The Knicks. They got 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's a big team now. Yeah, that's a big team now, Indiana. They got all their power forwards and centers. That's a big team now.
Yeah.
Naismith, Siakam, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they got a lot.
Left all over the place.
Right. They was already the best scoring team in the league. They basically added Siakam for players they wasn't even using.
And Obi's still there. Obi thought he was going to be able to go back to play with quickly. They teased him on that one.
I mean, this is proof that it ain't always greener on the other side. I don't know if Obi wanted to go to Indiana. I don't know if he was telling his agent, "Yeah, make that move. I want to go to Indiana." But he was behind Randle here. Now he already ended up being behind Jalen Smith or whatever. Now he's behind Pascal Siakam too.
No, he's behind Naismith and the other guy. Where's Obi playing? His minutes going to be cut to like 4 minutes. He's going to be getting Miles Bridges situational minutes.
I don't know.
When they need some 3-pointers, they'll probably throw him in there. But other than that, they're not going to be playing Obi.
I mean, he was starting, and then he went to the bench, and now we'll see, because they didn't move a power forward. I mean, they did.
No,
but they moved Noir, Jordan Noir, however you say his name. They moved him, but he wasn't playing anyway.
Right. The power forwards that are playing, the Buddy Hills, the Naismiths, they're all still there.
You know what I'm saying? So, I guess it's going to depend on, what they're how they're. I don't know.
I think the Obi's only look is because they look like they're trying to trade Buddy Hield for something. If they get rid of Buddy Hield, then Obi might get some playing time off the bench.
And
Buddy
yeah,
Hield's
they
still
may
on
not
that
be
team.
done. They may still be making some moves, but maybe he might be part of those moves. Who knows? I mean, he the last 4 games or so, he's been getting like 19, 20 minutes a game, still more than he was getting with the Knicks. Hold on. Wait a minute. He's been getting, for the season, he's getting 23.6 minutes per game.
And since, let me ask you a question. This Toronto game coming up. I'm seeing that Gary Trent Jr. is getting his fire back since there's no Pascal and stuff. You scared? Because he hasn't been playing good all year, but now tonight he was lighting stuff up. And that dude scares me when he gets hot.
I mean, I don't know. It's a totally new team we're playing against. I'm more scared that RJ and Quickly is going to be, they're going to be excited and the team is going to rally behind them. You know what I'm saying? That's my bigger concern.
Yeah.
It would have been something.
like,
it would have been crazy if Obi ended up there.
Yeah, that would have been weird. That would have been some kind of conspiracy talk around the league, something going on.
That would have been crazy. Then all of them came back. That would have been crazy. But we'll see what happens. He's averaging for the season, a little over 20 minutes per game. Obi in Indiana. We'll see what those numbers look like now that Pascal Siakam is there. That's going to be interesting to see.
But do you notice in Toronto, their number one guy they said they want to build around is his scoring has gone down since RJ came over. He's not scoring as many points no more.
Yeah. I was reading something, something about that somewhere. I guess, it's going to take some time for that to figure out, them to figure out what those rotations and all that stuff looks like.
But they didn't get along in high school when they battled each other. They had a little beef in high school.
Yeah.
Him and RJ.
Yeah, Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but now with Pascal Siakam gone, it's those 3.
Right.
Right? So, you figure he's going to get his touches again.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be, yeah, without a doubt. It's going to be, but the Knicks got to make a move. They got to make sure they're keeping up with the pack.
Yeah, we got to. And because they don't want to take no seconds, you got some. Come on, you got to get rid of some of these first.
Yeah.
Because I see what the Knicks were trying to do. They were trying to give RJ and 2 firsts to get OG, and they get Quickly and the first to get Murray. But Toronto wanted Quickly too. I saw what they were trying to do. They just couldn't pull it off.
Yeah, I still kind of believe that Indiana drove that price up. Because they were interested.
They were trying to get both.
They were trying to get OG.
And OG.
Yeah, they were trying to get OG. I feel like they drove that price up.
Right.
Yeah.
They were trying to get both, but they didn't have enough assets to get Pascal and OG.
Right. That'd have been nuts.
Yeah.
We'll see. Silk, I appreciate it, man.
All right, fellas.
All right. Peace. Shout out to Walter White. Thank you for the Cash App. Definitely appreciate it. All right, he said, hit the like button and vote Knicks for the All-Star game. Yes. Make sure you get those votes in, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to head over to the Losers Lounge. So, we are expecting you guys to be over there with us. You know what I'm saying? Before I go, Tony, your player of the game?
Player of the game?
Yeah.
Is the man who made it back, and showed his value and came up with those clutch baskets.
Clutch baskets. Captain Clutch himself. Jalen Brunson. That's my player of the game as well. You know what I mean? You can see the difference with him back. There's no doubt about that. The Knicks, they look better. They look more confident on the floor. Understand what they're doing out there. Yeah, Jalen Brunson, man. my player of the game too. Jalen Brunson, Captain Clutch. Make sure you go to printjurisdiction.com, ladies and gentlemen, and check out these Captain Clutch hoodies and T-shirts. Make sure you go check those out. They're dope. A little bit, they cost a little bit of money, but they're premium hoodies, premium T-shirts. So it's well worth the buy. There's people in the chat who have bought it. They, I'm pretty sure they will attest to it. So go ahead and check those out. We got, different colors. You can see the blue. We got cream with the blue lettering, with the blue ink. Yeah, go on printjurisdiction.com and check it out, ladies and gentlemen. That information is in the description of the video. It's also pinned to the top of your YouTube chat, printjurisdiction.com exclusively. Can't get it no place else. So make sure you go check it out. Anything you any last words before we get out of here? Tomorrow we play Washington. Any quick thoughts on Washington before we get out? That game?
Like you said earlier, man, we better win that game. You know what I mean? We can't afford. We know what the standards are. We know how crunched up everything is. We know the severity of each win and each loss, and we're in a stretch where we need to continue to do what we've been doing, and that's taking care of the teams that are under 500,
right?
And you know what I mean. Continue to sprinkle in them statement wins along the way. Yeah. But we got a home stretch. Let's take care of business.
Take care of business. Let's get it done, man. Take care of the Washington Wizards. They got 7 wins on the season. Let's not play around with them. Take care of business, and then move on to Toronto. That's going to be a big game. It may not mean a whole lot in the standings as far as us versus them in the standings, but given the situation with IQ and RJ and OG, that's a big basketball game, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be a fun one, too. But we got to take care of tomorrow night. Catch us on the Losers Lounge, ladies and gentlemen. About 12:15, 12:20, Greg. Because I know Greg is going to have something to say about the time. About 12:15, 12:20. Look for the notification. Catch us on the Losers Lounge. We're on the way over there now. My name is Sim. Thank you for joining us. My man, Tony. Catch us on the Losers Lounge, ladies and gentlemen. We're out of here. Peace.
This is NBK. Nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.